Going to call the Albany Selectmen's meeting to order for April 23rd, 2025. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approve the Selectmen meeting minutes for April 9th.
Move to approve as presented.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Approve the April 23rd, 2025 consent file. Here was signed manifesting amount of $19,449.69 and $22,736.40. This includes an accounts payable and payroll manifest for 4/15/25 and 4/22/25. Review, discuss, and Review, discuss, and sign pistol revolver license. Review, discuss, and sign PA-7 notice of intent to cut wood on timber for map 9, lot 19, 32, and 173. Review, discuss, and sign the P-7 notice of intent to cut wood or timber for map 9, lot 35. Review, discuss, and approve and deny residential building permit application for 11 Ovarian Road, Brook Road. Review, discuss, approve, and deny local approval for construction of individual sewage disposal system for Passaconaway Road, map 9A, lot 52. Review, discuss, approve, and deny local approval for construction of an individual sewage disposal system for 1503 Ballville Road, map 6A, lot 163. Review and discuss, approve for construction of an individual sewage disposal system for 426 Drake Hill Road, map 3, lot 65. Review and discuss approval for construction of individual sewage disposal system for Moat View Drive, map 9, lot 135. Review, discuss, and sign the PA-9 forms and original warrant yield tax levy from forms for 24-003-01-T and 24-003-02-T reports to timber cuts.
I make a motion to approve the entire consent file as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Town administrator's report.
All right, so we need a couple of trustees of the trust fund appointed. It was Sarah Knox Young and Kim Gutto. Ann Mara was in yesterday, said we need to get them set up, so just letting you guys know on that.
Were they the write-ins?
So what there was 4 write-in candidates, each one got 1 vote apiece. When Ann was here, she looked at the list, there was a couple, and I'm blanking their names, I should have wrote them down, but she said they couldn't do it because they were a couple. So she said Sarah and Kim.
No, has Sarah and Kim? Oh,
I can reach out to them, is that?
yeah,
Okay.
If they want it.
Okay.
You want to make sure.
Well, we could take one of the couple,
Okay.
if one of them wanted to do it. I think they should still be in the running if they all tied.
Alright, I'll get the list from Sandy
I
and
mean, who does make the decision if there's extra people?
that's where I had some
Well,
confusion on it.
according to Ed, on the night of town meeting, he said for the 4 people to get together and work it out.
Okay.
Right.
So if
That's what I heard.
If we have more that, if they all show interest, then we'll have to find out.
Well-
So step 2 is,
Okay.
I would imagine.
yeah.
But I would reach out to all of them and make sure, A, they will do it,
Yeah.
and B, which 2 we need to.
Yeah, confirm.
And I don't think it's anything that we have to approve.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
They're not sworn in or anything like that?
Oh, they have to get sworn in.
That's-
Everybody has to get sworn.
They have to accept it.
Right.
First off, you gotta accept it,
Yeah.
you know, and I would reach out to all of them and just
Because if they're elected.
The husband
it's
and
not
wife,
possible, 'cause
or
they're-
whatever,
Yeah.
I think that would be a conflict of interest.
But one of
because that
them
would be,
One or the
well,
other.
one of them could do it.
So you gotta offer it to them
Okay.
and explain
Yeah.
one of you can do it.
Yeah.
Alright, next I do have training at Primex tomorrow in Concord. Just want to give you guys a heads up on that. I do have a couple things.
You will like that they're good people down there, and the training they give is really first class.
Awesome.
Lunch is good too.
The front door is gonna be fixed Monday afternoon. I didn't add that to the agenda, and then also, the raise for town clerk needs to be
Yeah,
official.
I'm gonna make a motion that we give Sandy the 5% cost of living increase. That'd be one motion, and a second motion I would make is to set Caitlin's pay at $30 an hour. She works so little that it's not, we have to have her for when we need her. And for her to show up for a little bit of time, but I feel we have to make it worth her while to do that, so that's how we come up with
I second both of those.
it. No discussion?
No session. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. There were two motions, weren't there?
Yes.
You said second,
Yeah.
right? You said second, I assumed that.
Aye.
I'm sorry, two ayes for everyone.
Alright,
Yeah, I mean, to make somebody come out for a couple of hours at night, you know, make it worth their while.
Just to lock her in so that he's not aware of
Yeah.
it. She's good.
I've talked to two people,
She's
and
qualified.
she's extremely qualified, and extremely helpful, goes above and beyond.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's been my experience.
Now, I guess, do we have to approve Sandy's being retroactive?
No, I think that's how
Is that
I
given?
when I reached out to NHMA, they said if it's in the budget,
take this back to.
it does get retroactively applied.
That's the way it is.
And would that be the same for Caitlin?
I would think so.
It would be hard to track her hours. I think she might have had maybe 5 since the year, so
Well,
if that. I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I think we
Alright.
should.
Fair is
Yeah,
fair.
I think we should.
Alright.
It was budgeted for, so it's there.
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah, I do have some info on the cameras for. old
Okay,
business.
the old business review and discuss quote from Valley Vision.
Appointments?
No appointments.
Yes. I need to be reappointed to the communications district.
I make the motion to reappoint Rick Hamilton to Communications District.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Let's see.
Congratulations. Okay. Old business, review and discuss the quote from Valley Vision for cameras. I've been thinking about this. It seems simple. We get money from not paying Valley Vision to do it. Take that money, buy our equipment, and then we do it ourselves. But are there gonna be more costs associated that we're not seeing? As a camera fails or something, we need some kind of support that we have to pay for to, I know you said. that-
Yeah, but if we're taking it out of the line geared to paying for the service,
Yeah.
okay, it doesn't prevent us from moving a fund from another line
And that's where I
to
was
be able
going.
to be able to deal with something like that.
Did you have any luck with that?
So I did find out some information for you. So we budgeted $4,650 for meeting videos. Right now we owe Valley Vision right around $1,200. Bill thought. The camera is an equipment estimate $2,955 and change. From that budget, it would leave us a remainder of just shy of $500. I did reach out to the company again.
Yep, I was just gonna say, and that's a one-time cost.
Right.
So next year, if we were still budget $4,000 for this, or $3,000 for this, we're gonna save money, and we'll have money for if the camera fails or if the microphone fails.
That's what I'm thinking, go ahead and soft this year and next year have a set budget moving forward. While we get this thing
The
going.
only thing that I would ask Alyssa to do would be to contact municipal, and just get their opinion on that. We're taking a line for service and turning it into a,
Asset.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
just make sure.
Yeah.
I think it is okay.
Could be, but yeah, I get it.
But I'd like to have something to stand on, I think. It's all for the same reason. The townspeople at a town meeting in a warrant article told us we need to do this. This was back, what, 7, 8 years ago? 9 years ago?
Well, was there
So-
a vote that we had this video? Because I never remember.
Oh, yeah.
Must have been after my time or between my times.
Oh, yeah.
When I asked
So, I
Kelly-
mean, it was, and it passed the town meeting, so we're obligated to provide that.
Kelly said video, yes, that it was not obligated to be live feed.
Okay, live stream.
Yeah,
It just has to be maintained.
Maybe recorded.
yeah, uploaded, but then.
That's
Once you
why
do it,
initially-
then you have to maintain it.
That's why initially we went with the Eric up in Maine that does a lot of New Hampshire towns along the border here, because it was videoed. Live, depending on the computer equipment you have at home, depends on how good a reception you got, but there was no problem usually watching, reruns of it type of
Right.
thing. And a lot of the complaints were not our fault. I mean, we spent minimal money on it,
Right.
okay, to accomplish it.
Mhm.
And a lot of it has to do with, if you've got a computer that's an old computer and it's got old software in it, you may or may not have problems
Right.
being able to watch it.
Mhm.
In which case you should attend the meeting.
I was able to get in touch with someone from the B&H.
Okay.
They do work with municipalities. He said for me to just send him a purchase order of what we want, and they will invoice us in that 30 invoice.
Excellent.
I was
So,
gonna make sure that when you do, when we do it, that these cables that are on there, that there's multiple colors.
okay,
Don't get all the same, same color,
okay.
5 different.
And also get them long enough so that we can tuck them out of the way.
Right.
Because if you're gonna put it out in a big room like we wanna eventually meet out there, you want them out of the way,
Mhm.
so people aren't tripping over them.
Right. Well, we're gonna do it.
In fact, we probably ought to get one of those safety strips that you can put down that have the cavity in it and run them all
Yeah.
together to the conference table.
This is these add-ons that I was curious. We have 500 left over. That's gonna be eaten up pretty quick, so
Mhm.
as long as we can.
We'll probably
Money
need that
from somewhere
500
else.
between now and
Right.
ours is
Oh, yeah,
gone, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as we can move some money over.
Yeah, and just verify that that line, can it be used to change the service to our own
Okay.
From the
output?
on the warrant.
And we're using the same service, but we are delivering them with.
No, just, it's in the budget, it's not in the warrant.
Yeah, it's a
Line in the budget.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And make a note if they question it, that we were mandated by a warrant article, I wanna say it was 7 or 8 years ago, that we have to do it. We're just looking at a budget saving way to accomplish it.
One of the-
And it'll improve quality too.
One of the concerns Kelly Collins brought up is just a security for everything. I don't know if we just keep it in here like we do their stuff. And also teaching the other
Yep.
committees and boards how to use it properly.
Step by step.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Idiot note that you gotta be right there and do this, do that, do
Right.
this. They write
Push the button.
3 different languages,
I
whatever
mean,
it takes.
when we started videoing originally with the original stuff, okay, after it got put in, I mean, we had to teach everybody how to use it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was where you had to go on the computer and sign in, this is gonna be that way.
Right.
It's gonna be just push a
Basic,
button.
basic.
Yeah, we'll make it simple.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, good. We'll move forward then. Oh, then go with the planning board?
The planning board actually missed the meeting, couldn't be enough, we didn't meet the quorum, so
Yep.
it was canceled. But I believe that we're required to have one meeting a month, so we're in default, so I was gonna reach out to Sean to see if we can't get something scheduled,
Mm-hmm.
before the end of the month.
And it's in the RSA that the planning board must, shall, whatever, meet once a month. And somebody's gonna impress it upon Sean to remember that, because he's already missed meetings before.
Okay.
Did we ever follow through with the one we talked about?
I did not write
Feel
it
more
down.
comfortable about it?
A little bit.
Uh, You wanna wait for the next incident and then,
That's what I was thinking, because now he's got the tools
yeah,
that he needed
okay.
to kind of see how it goes from there, you know what I mean?
If you don't mind, if he approaches something like that, just say, we ask that you get.
Yeah, and that
permission before you
was
do
what
it.
my plan was gonna be.
We'll take a little eye on it.
Alright.
Okay. How about
Do you want a
solid
vote of support, Jim, for that?
What's that?
Do you want a vote of support?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
solid waste? What's going on with solid waste?
We're in the process of, I just finished myself, converting a piece of parchment paper with the agreement on it into Word. And John Kovath and myself are, in the process of, redoing the agreement to meet today's requirements. I mean, things are going good over there. I don't anticipate any problem with it, but it will be a situation where probably sometime in the next 2 or 3 months, we will have an agreement that we'll have to vote on, a memorandum, that's how it's listed. And it brings us up to speed, but everything is working well over there.
No, it is, it's a good functioning facility.
And the memo of understanding that was originally signed back in 1988 is really way outdated.
Okay.
So,
Good. Chapel committee, anything going on with the chapel committee?
Nothing I'm aware of, you haven't had anything since?
They inquired about next meeting, May 13th. I said it was open.
Oh, just come here?
Yeah,
Oh,
not for
oh,
us,
oh,
for themselves,
You didn't
yeah.
have one yet? Perfect.
Yes, sir.
on the Carroll County Communications District, we just had one of our quarterly meetings. We've gone to quarterly meetings instead of monthly, because there's really not a lot of activity going on at this point. But just to report, Fidium, CCI, they're on schedule to finish their work in Carroll County by the end of July, provided there's no hiccups or weather influence. And, they've got a lot done. The electric co-op, who operates under New Hampshire Broadband name, is gonna have their work in Carroll County done by the end of the year, which is on schedule for the grant and the deadline for the grant and whatnot. And we figure right now, I wish Steve Knox was around for this, but in Carroll County right now, I'd say 99% of the people have access to high-speed internet
Great.
in some way, shape, or form.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
I just got an ad for Starlink, so I'm gonna go with Elon. Sorry.
What?
Starlink is offering Did you get that ad? I think it was
Yeah.
spam, but it's looked.
I got that too, yeah.
Did you?
Sorry, yeah.
Well,
So it's all good, whatever it takes.
people way out. I mean, I got Fidium and I love it.
Whatever it
Saving,
takes.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I'm saving $229 a month.
Maybe bail on Spectrum, because I don't like their channel two. You ever see the channel two?
I have never had, when I moved to town, they quoted me an outrageous figure of $8,000 or $10,000 to put cable into my house. I even have underground conduit for them that Fidium just used.
They decided to start their own news programs from the other side.
Oh.
Yeah, so I can't be bothered.
But
That's another story.
anyhow, I just wanted to make you aware
Yeah.
that things are going really well.
Good.
And in some areas, the Wanalancet was an area that Steve and I both thought would probably be the last to get it because of where they were located,
Yeah.
way out in the sticks there.
Yeah.
And I was able to talk to Leo Dwyer, who was on our original committee, who was the head of New Hampshire broadband for the electric co-op, because he was on the board of directors, and I had talked to him about that part of Albany and Tamworth. And he was able to include that build-out with the sandwich build-out, and they were the first to get high-speed internet.
That's the only high speed out there.
And I just learned that Fidium just ran wires out there, so they have competition. So Doug and John that was here at our last meeting are probably tickled. So, but it's been a long 7 years.
Yeah, good.
So,
I had one thing. Yeah, I keep forgetting to bring it up. Now that my windows are open, I'm listening to the beautiful, wonderful sound of engine brakes
Yep.
going down the street.
I've been paying attention to that too, and it's not just in the morning.
It's
It's
continual.
at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's at midnight.
Those are what you're catching, because and you're not on the turn, okay? I hear that, you can hear it all the way through the valley, so.
Well, no, they do it coming into the turn right by that white farmhouse.
Yep.
Okay, and,
We got some information from NHMA, and I'm more confused after getting it. Because you could, but you can't, but there's a situation you can, but if you're a city, but if you're a town, I didn't get it yes or no.
this is a main drag of Albany.
Yes, but it'd be considered a noise ordinance. So it would have to carry the whole town, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so can we do it without a vote of the town, is what I'm looking for.
Well, municipal ought to be able to answer that.
Did you get it?
I was pretty confused with
Yeah.
with the response.
So
Did you get a written response?
Yeah, a while
Did you
ago.
send it to me?
I think I can go back and
Yeah, send it out, 'cause
Yeah, send it to me too.
I read it a couple of times, it's like you might, but you could, and if you're a city, but if you're under this
Well,
population.
no, if I see it, if it's confusing, I'll call Margaret down there and see if she
I was
can
hoping you'd come up with that, that's why I brought it up here to you.
clarify it.
This is right up your alley.
Well, no, I mean, we need to do it right.
We do.
Because if we're gonna enforce it, we don't wanna get thrown out on technicality.
I was driving through Maine, on
And I
Maine
think,
Road, it just said no engine brake, it's a sign on it over.
I think you can designate it for a certain area.
Probably,
And the reason I say that,
because I've seen it where it says in town or on other ones.
and unless they've changed the law in the last 20 years type of thing, when I lived in Bow, where I used to live, my shop was on River Road, which went down towards the Bow Power Plant. And River Road goes down through a little residential area before it gets to the commercial business area down by the power plant. And they were able to get a noise ordinance for that residential area that it went through.
That's kind of what I noticed.
And it's specific for that.
Right. And I thought of that and I thought, why not do the whole town? Why do we need it anywhere, really? past Conway is the only other main road where they'd use it, and nobody wants it out there either.
Right.
I can see where it has some merit, if someone's doing a construction job and they're going to have a steep hill to get to, I'd like to grant them that, but on Route 16 and past Conway, I don't see the use, especially Route 16, they're just taking advantage of it. That's just, I just
Well,
take
it's
the route at 3 in the
If you
morning.
talk to a trucker, it saves on brakes.
Yeah, but it's not saving on my sleep. Right. Or by my state of mind, and I'm not the only one, it's everyone I talk to has. And then, the letter we have out there has got, I don't know, 200 signatures on it, or something, if people want it, so we should do it.
Yeah.
So if you can pass that around, Lisa.
Sure.
Let me get it better, because I'm looking for
I mean,
how it needs to be worded in the ordinance, and, because I've seen it different ways in different towns.
Well, what I would suggest that we get town council involved in the actual wording law. We could draft up something and then hand it over to town
Okay.
council, because he's gotta defend it,
Right, okay.
and that would be fair to him.
Alright, so I'll let you guys get a look at it, we'll talk about it next meeting. Put it on the agenda for next meeting, please.
Okay.
Get that done. And I noticed, a bunch of new telephone poles going in right in the construction zone. I don't think they coordinated between the project coming in a couple of years, and, cause it's right down the road, but it's gotta be, I don't think they'll take them back out or what?
Where?
Right before the double lines, right before the double passing lanes.
Really?
The tail end of the project we're talking about, putting on the poles in the same spots.
Marshall? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Marshall,
yeah, so I don't know, maybe they have cleared that it's gonna be clear, but I hope so.
yeah. It'd be good, because there's a cable that hung right up the road for a while now.
Yes. Yeah, well, the poles need it, it's just a matter of what they're gonna redo it. You know what I mean?
I did talk to the representative on not a representative, he's our contact, he's the vice president of CCI Video. And he said if we have any low-hanging wires or anything like that, to let him know. The communications wires are the low ones.
Yeah. Mine's going down.
And I have a direct line into him, so if you see anything in town where it's a Fidium line, because I've got one that's unwrapping, they wrapped it to the DSL line, and for some reason, coming to,
Okay.
I did have one other thing. Kathy, the treasurer,
Yeah.
in her office on the ceiling, there's some water damage. She seems to think it's getting worse. I don't know if
Is
you
it
guys
from the
will.
roof problem?
I'm
I'm not- I don't know.
where those came together, that they just fixed.
And that's what I told her that some work had just been done. She's just wasn't sure if it's getting worse. You guys just want to take a peek at it and see what you think. She asked me to mention it to you guys. And that's all I got.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
I'm good.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.